Give me a hand here.
Hello guys, what's up? This is D. Michael, I'm here, 1997, and as you see here, we are in an apocalypse, and today we are reviewing Metro Redux. Now this game is a year old, and I decided to review it because I basically am done reviewing games for a while now, until August or September, so I thought why not fill in July or the beginning of August with some reviews. So I decided to review Metro Redux on PS4. Now this review goes for all consoles this remaster is on, which is on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Okay? So, I never got interested in Metro when it originally came out in 2010, 2020, 2033, the original game was called. Now, if no one understand, if you guys never heard of Metro, I'm not gonna criticize you, because I never heard of it in the first place. But the idea of Metro actually came up from how can I say it, an international best-selling novel called Metro 2033 by Dmitry Glukhovsky, and its sequel, Metro 2034. And I must just say, for a international adaptation of a novel, they really did a good job. Developer 4A Games here, who is actually a developing studio in the Ukraine, I believe. So let's just say right now that I really do think that this game was underrated when it first came out. Because when I saw the reviews for this, for both titles when they came out, a lot of the scores were good. There were some good scores, but then there were some really bad ones, giving the game a lot of criticism, and it was kind of underrated gem at the time, which was really a true shame of it. I mean, both games, after playing it, I have to say that some of those critics who criticize the game way too much, they really are just way too complaining about the game. But overall, I am playing a remastered part, not the original release. So I kind of understand, and I'm not going to criticize them too much. But let me just say right now, Metro Redux is the definitive version of this series. And you're going to hear that for other games when they come out too. Understandable. Completely understandable, actually. And I will say that Metro Redux is actually a polished title and actually more better. So, enough with the treatment. So let's get into a few other things here. The first thing I'm going to talk about for Metro Redux is the visual style. Its graphics. You see here, the game is buggy, like right there. You see that? What is that? A bug. This is basically footage from both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. So the graphics in both games, I must just say, are visually beautiful, and I cannot undergo the amount of atmosphere this game has. Both titles actually build up this lore, this atmosphere of a world after World War III and a nuclear apocalypse. So it already is intriguing, and the environment that the characters go through in the world and the design and the nasty metro, but the more horrifying higher ground, the sky area, it's much more disturbing than you think. Humanity is stuck on the ground basically, and it really is one of those disturbing areas that really is intensifying to look at. And it all has smooth animations too, and it visually looks beautiful on the consoles, and it even looks better on PC. You know, for those PC elitists out there who want an amazing visual experience, you can always go with the PC Master Race, okay? So, how about character models? Character models also look good as well. I mean, you can look here at the character models and how smooth they look. The animations, like I said before, are top notch here. It's at their top game, and it really does have this visual beauty to it. Now, how about frame rate and visual quality for those guys who wants to know everything, those graphic cores out there? Now, the game, I believe, runs at 1080p on PS4 and Xbox One, I believe. I mean, I don't know about specifics, but I do know they both run visually beautiful on consoles. And I believe you actually get to 60 frames per second, depending on your TV and how they handle frame rate and all. But overall, I must just say the game overall is a visual beauty to look at. It's a visual masterpiece in some ways too. I mean, yes, there is a bug here or there, like there's another battle sequence I didn't get a chance to record, where this big guy, this juggernaut looking character, he was actually floating in air while going down a staircase, so it looked kind of funny, but I never got a chance to record it. But let's just say that Metro Redux is a true better version of these games. Alright, enough with the graphics. I mean, design of the characters, I must say, are beautiful. I mean, there's three groups in the game. There is the Rangers, Spartans, then there's the Third Reich, which is the Nazi jerks, and then there's the Communists. And each class of characters, they all have a unique outfit and unique design to each and every one of them. So it makes seeing them and noticing which one you look at a lot more understanding. So that is a lot more helpful for those who try to understand it that much more better. Now, enough with the visual. I mean, it looks beautiful. Now let's go to story mode. Now, the story of Metro Redux has two games. I must say, Redux has two games, 2033 and Last Light. Now, the story for the Metro Redux has always been criticized for little things, but I think the stories for both games are actually well done here. You play as a Russian Holocaust survivor named Artyom, who really begins his journey after basically an attack of Third Reich, I believe, not attack of Third Reich, but when his the first game. I want to talk about the first game for a second. The first game deals with Artyom having to deliver a message actually for one of his friends to another station. However, this message starts to lead to a bigger mystery, and also ends up making Artyom go on a journey of discovery, of discovering something that's much more bigger than him and his a group of survivors. And it really does make the story that much more bigger, as of it builds you into it, and the immersion, I must just say, like I said before, is outstanding here. You really do feel like you are in Russia, and that really is hard to do with some games. Like other games, you feel like you're not really in there, or you're not really immersed. But when you play Metro, you are fully immersed in this world. When you go to the surface, it's nothing like it used to be. There's no nice homes. The only thing that's up there is radiation and poisonous monsters and this evil, horrifying looking design, which is beautiful to look at, I must say, even though it's horrifying. Scary. So, back to story. I think that the story also builds on the atmosphere, as the world itself is also a character, and it's a uniquely well done character. And these games do go into supernatural, may I just say. I'm not gonna spoil how much supernatural it goes into, but let's just say that Metro might start to get you a little bit loopy, or it starts to mess with your mind a little. I mean, people will criticize Supernatural part for being too ridiculous to the point of M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, but I don't think it's any ridiculous. It adds much more storytelling. It adds much more to just another apocalypse game, instead of adding much more of a horrifying supernatural element to it that gives it much more backstory and more story to borrow on. And each game even has actually two good and bad endings. Now, they don't tell you exactly how to do. You have to figure it out for yourself, but it is cool how it allows you to do that if you want to or not. And overall, the first game story is actually really good overall, even though it's not as big as a story arc as Last Light. Because personally, my personal opinion, Metro Last Light is the better game out of the two. Now, what is Last Light's story about? Last Light's story actually deviates from the novel, I believe, as the novel actually brings an entirely new cast of characters, no longer Artyom. But the game, decides to rely on Artyom once again and his unique cast of characters, also with adding new characters. Now, it takes place 1 year after the events of Artyom's slight spoiler for the first game, of him destroying a race called the Dark, which is a dark race of alien-like creatures that deal with the supernatural, like I said. And it kind of goes into the fact that Artyom and his friend Khan, slight spoiler, not really spoiler, but a character in the game, and they basically find a last Dark One, who is basically in danger, who's actually a little child. And it basically revolves around these three political races, the Nazis, the Communists, and the Spartans, fighting for also a bunker, which can also protect everyone. Now, the story in this one, like I said, is a lot more stronger than the first game, because the first game, I believe, was, well, my personal opinion, was setting up Last Light, and I think in a great way. Although Last Light doesn't actually allow you to make your choice from the last game go over, because it actually believes that you did the bad ending where you killed all the Dark Ones, except you didn't kill the baby, because the baby's a smart survivor. Now, this story actually in here has a lot more of tension and a lot more things at stake here. There's a political battle between the three as who should have the bunker. Is it right for one group to have it over another? And I think, like I said before, it does it all perfectly here. And it does go even more crazy and supernatural towards the finale, but I think it all works well, as it's supposed to be uncomfortable. And I think it's done on purpose to be uncomfortable. And I think overall the game's storytelling, and hopefully another sequel, a trilogy maybe, come on 4A Games, make another game of this, it's amazing. Make another one of these maybe, and just have overall satisfying storytelling like you did here. Now, overall, the storytelling overall is great, with a great cast of characters, good and bad, horrifying and not, that you actually feel like you are actually part of this world. So let's go into the gameplay now, because I've already gone like a lot of minutes into storytelling. Gameplay is perfectly balanced in my personal opinion. You have tons of shooting elements, but also a lot of stealth, as the game at times relies on it when it comes to fighting the humans. When it comes to fighting humans, you can either sneak past all of them, or you can just go back and kill them all, which is always fun to do. I mean, isn't it fun to shoot those guys in the head? I think it is. Heck, the game has a lot of these moments of intensity, and I really believe the game overall, gameplay is overall better for the most of it. Notifications or improvements from last light have been brought to 2033 now, so it's not as confusing as a HUD as some people complain about. For the original, it's not, like I said, a remaster, so there's a lot more improvements than you think is under the hood here. And also, I must just say, it's fun to shoot enemies and be stealthy at times. And I think the AI here is a lot more improved than I heard. Like, a lot of people complain about the AI in the original product, but here, the AI is a lot more better. They react to more scenarios the more you do, and they may be dumb every once in a while, being like those idiot AI. It overall is fun, and it's fun to always shoot a communist or a Nazi in the head, you know? However, if you think the human survivors are forgiving, wait until you encounter those on the surface, the monsters. Holy crap, these guys are a pain in the asses. They will charge at you, and there's not just one type. There's the guys on the ground, there's spiders, there's winged creatures, there's these gigantic creatures with shield arms. It's intense. However, you don't fight them, there's certain ones you don't fight all the time, but there's certain ones you do. And sometimes you fight them on the sky, I mean on the surface, or on the ground. What's cool about if you go on the surface or radiated hotspots is you need a gas mask to survive. If you don't, you die, basically. And I love that, as that gives it just that much more tension, or that much more reason not to get hurt. Because even if you're in a battle, and you get shot too much, your mask will break and you'll die of aspiration, I believe it's called. Never mind. Let's just get into... let's just continue talking about the gameplay, since I have a lot more to discuss, I believe. All modes of difficulty are in this game, so you don't have to pay for Ranger mode like you did for Last Light. Instead, all you have is Tony modes. That there's two extra modes you can play from the beginning. There's Survival mode and Spartan mode. Survival mode is a lot more of a easier way to play, even though you could rank it up to Ranger Hardcore mode. The reloading is more faster. The watch is actually much more specific on how much time you got left. And then Spartan mode is a lot more harder, as reloading is a lot much slower. Currency is a lot less amounts, and it costs more currency. And also, I must just say, the timer on your watch is no longer specific yet. It's like a little watch, like those watches that don't really tell like the numbers, and you have to read it, like little tick marks. So it always keeps you on your toes. It makes the game that just much more specifically unique and that horrifying overall. And like I said, the supernatural parts make it get a little wonky for those. I personally really did enjoy supernatural parts, as it just doesn't just make it a survival horror game. It also makes it one of those games that actually has so much underneath the surface that it's just that much more unique. Man, I've been talking for a while about Metro Redux, but overall, the game, I don't have to just be specific at which gameplay, because the gameplay for both games is really the same. The only thing is, Last Light has a lot more improvements, and I'm really even glad that they improved both of them. You also get all the DLC for Last Light, all the extra mission, the Horde mode, the AI Combat Arena, all of it. And you get exclusive mission replays other characters like Pavel, Anna, and Khan. All this adds up to make a really great package, and if you buy it right now, it doesn't matter if you buy it at GameStop or an online service, you can buy this game for 20 bucks, and it's a steal for 20 bucks right now. I bought it at GameStop, $20 it cost me, and may I just say, I'm glad I spent 20 bucks on this definitive edition. This is a type of definitive edition I'd rather support, rather than just one game only definitive supports. I'd rather support remaster like this, because you get more for the bang of your buck, and I think that's always a good thing in games. You always get more for it, and it gives you much more replay value. And there's always collectibles to find, little thingy things here to do and find. That there's always something leaving you to explore. Exploration also is a big thing in this game. You always find little things here to do to make you feel satisfied. Overall, Metro Redux is one of the better definitive remasters I've played in a long time. I mean, games like Last of Us Remastered, Tomb Raider, and other ones I have are all great remasters, but this one is the best one I played in a really long time. May I just say? If you have a PS4, Xbox One, and if you have 16 gigabytes worth of space, I'd recommend buying this game right away. Okay, guys? And also for PC owners, you get it as well. I mean, it's all good for us. Everyone wins. We're gamers. We love games. That's how it works. So my final verdict for Metro Redux is an overall score of a 9 out of 10. That's right, a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. I mean, it has a few bugs here that ruins the experience, but overall, Metro Redux is an amazing game and I recommend it to anyone. Please like the video, comment below, subscribe. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Bye-bye, guys. See you on the next episode. Have a good one.